wanna see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, 'cause we're golden.
Welcome to episode 4 of Life Below Par. You can check us out at our socials. On Instagram, you can find us at Mayflower Sports, and on Twitter, you can find us at Sports Mayflower. Let's get into the 2021 WGC Workday Championship review. What do you think of it, Scooter?
It was good, man. It was really good. It's kind of the first big tournament of the year. I know the Genesis kind of featured a bunch of guys, but this it was definitely, World Golf Championships are always one of those ones. You want to get majors, you want to get the players, and then the next group is these World Golf Championships. And it's kind of nice because it forces, obviously, there's only 72 players in the field. Mm-hmm. So it forces, there to be those big names are basically always at the top of the leaderboard, which is what you ultimately want to see. And obviously it didn't disappoint again this week. Obviously Morikawa won. We get into that, but I mean, guys on the leaderboards: Hovland, Koepka, Horschel, McIlroy, Simpson, Reed, Finau was there too. JT was there, a few back. Matsuyama. So it's those guys you want to see. Definitely. We're up there. Unfortunately, it's just like no one really made a move on the back nine.
Yeah, Morikawa just ran away with it.
He ran away with it. I mean, but he just played steady. I mean, his back nine, his last 6, and he went 1 under on the back with 1 birdie, and parred his last 6 with two par 5. So I was watching. Yeah. I mean, he was just banging drives out there in the fairway.
Confident. He's just confident with his driver all day. It didn't matter if the water was in play or if it was a tough drive. He was banging the driver on the fairway.
Yeah, I mean, he was just lights out, honestly. I only had 1 bogey all day early in the round. Man, honestly, I was looking at his career so far, and he has definitely the chance to be probably the next DJ, but probably has the game maybe to be better. I think I wouldn't be shocked if he ends his career with 30 wins, 30, 40 wins. Mm-hmm. Now anything could happen. Everyone probably thought Spieth was going to be that guy.
Yeah. And Rory too before that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a little Morikawa Hovland action, kind of like what Tiger and Phil have going on in the past.
That could definitely happen. I mean, Morikawa already has 4 wins and 41 starts. So I was just looking at it really quick. If he played, if he went the exact same amount as DJ right now, he would have 3 more than DJ. So I mean, and DJ's got a win in every year besides his first, where he only played 1 tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically wasn't even. So he's basically won every single year so far, including this year.
Yeah. What did he win at Dubai this year or something?
DJ?
Yeah.
DJ, what was it? But I mean, it's incredible. I mean, he has 24 wins, and in the last, I think, 14 years, he has at least 1 win. In every single year, which is incredible. He won the. Oh shit! He won the Masters.
Okay, so does that count as this year or last year? I guess it just goes on year, I imagine.
Okay, to be fair, I'm not quite sure, but on PGA Tour, on the website, it has it as 2021 win.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I imagine he won another tournament in 2020.
He won 3.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, just so consistent, it's insane. But back to the point, Morikawa. Obviously, I mean, this is only his 3rd year in. He's only played 41. He has only had 41 starts. But holy man, he's winning at a good rate.
He's got ice in his veins.
Yeah, no, he's nasty. I mean, obviously some big wins. Like his first one was one of those crossfield ones, but he has a major World Golf Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think he beat JT in that playoff or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that one. I had JT to win in that one, of course.
Yeah.
And then I take Morikawa last week, and then he wins this week.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just cursed with betting against or for Colin Morikawa.
Yeah. I mean, he's he could be the next guy, honestly, like the next big guy. So we'll see.
Definitely.
He probably, I would say he has the most hype since Spieth, maybe. And Spieth was winning all those majors. Like it was kind of like, man, Spieth could be kind of that next guy.
Yeah.
And obviously went cold, but
I just feel with what happened with Rory, with what happened with Spieth, with what happened with DJ, we'll never see another guy like Tiger again.
I mean, and you look at Tiger's winning at like 25%.
No, exactly.
That's unheard of. That hasn't happened. Like Nicklaus didn't do that anywhere near that.
Well, especially with, I would say, the population just in general rising, and then the population of golf players rising.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers are just going to show that there's going to be more people putting time in, more people that are going to be better golfers. And in general, it's just going to inflate those scores and make it tougher and tougher to win back-to-back tournaments, multiple tournaments a year, multiple majors. So just like when you think of back in the old days when, I don't know, Ben Hogan was winning almost every tournament, it's because there's, 200 people in the world that golfed?
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, obviously there's way less. The talent pool right now is insane. And it's probably not going to get any worse, especially with all like the help, the video they can get on.
Exactly.
Like these young guys. Clubs. Yeah, like these young guys down in the States where they can golf all year round, and then like B, they can just get their swings are basically perfect because you just jump on video, and then all of a sudden like you have a perfect swing because they're taught to put their club in the right place. Mm-hmm. They're and they hit thousands of balls a day, which obviously like that's part of it too.
Definitely.
Don't get me wrong, but so I mean the talent pool is probably going to be better, but regardless. But I did just look like even Rory's. I mean, he has had a better winning percentage than DJ by a little bit. Basically the same as what Morikawa has, like in and around 10%. It's just impressive, but it's like Rory's a guy that you thought was. Now I know he didn't really make the jump over. Like he was still playing on the European tour for like a lot of his time. I mean, he's definitely missed some tournaments. Now he's played like, he gets a lot of tournaments, but I mean, obviously he was a guy that you thought was going to be like Phil probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I mean, Phil's got like 40 wins or something like that. And there's not many guys that get like, I feel like the new level is kind of like 20.
Yeah.
Like you can get to like 20 wins. Feel like that's kind of like a big milestone. Whereas guys like Phil, like I think it's going to be tough, man. I think to see a guy get like 40 wins.
Well, the skill pool, like you said, is so diluted nowadays. I mean, back in the day, it was Phil and Tiger, and I mean, there's a couple guys that would win every once in a while.
Yeah,
like I mean, DJ and Ernie, but I mean, now we got Rory, JT, Hovland, Morikawa, Koepka. I mean, you could rattle off probably 20 names that you would say could win every single week.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I didn't watch, obviously, when I was, like, 9. Mm-hmm. Like, that, like, I didn't really, like, pay attention to that. So I'm sure there was other guys, right? But,
yeah.
I mean, Phil's got 44 wins, but, I mean, he has so many, like, He's played a lot of tournaments, man. He's played 637 tournaments. That's a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 7%. Now, obviously, since 2014, he's only had 2 wins. But I mean, 44 wins. Like, his first one came in 1991. His last one came in 2019. So I mean, he spread them out. That's for sure. But yeah, just to get 44 wins is crazy, right? And I mean, everyone talks about the reason why I think Tiger. Now we can get obviously into Tiger later. Obviously, that was crazy. We're obviously coming at it. We recorded on Monday, and I think it all happened Tuesday or Monday night or Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, yeah.
Yeah. Nuts. But the one reason why I will always say Tiger's the greatest golfer ever is that he's only I just said how many tournaments Phil's played.
Yeah.
Which is 600 and some.
Yeah. Tiger's
played 368. 250 less.
Yeah,
and he has double the wins basically.
Yeah.
I mean, he's winning at over 22%. If he played the amount of as Phil with that same percentage, you have 145 wins. Now you have to account for some drop off.
Yeah.
But he has had a drop off. He's only won 3 times since in the same amount of time that Phil's won 2.
Yeah.
And he got this
tournament.
Pardon?
I wonder how many tournaments he's played.
I mean,
in that
definitely
time
less because
tough to play to figure out.
14, 15, and 16, he only played 19 times, so in 4 years. But and then he's only played 10 in the last 2, I guess, 2 calendar years. Now it's only halfway through 1, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So anytime, for me, winning percentage doesn't get brought up enough.
Yeah, no, and
at all. At all, honestly. Everyone says the major title, and they kind of leave it at that. I mean, Tiger has the most, or was it most or tied for the most wins?
I think he's tied.
Which is in and itself, some of those wins for Sam Snead were crazy.
Yeah,
there were 2 people in the field, but seriously, some of them are nuts. But anyway,
there are 2 people in the field, and one didn't have a leg, and the other one was 6 years old.
Yeah, so I mean, and I get it. Tiger doesn't have as many majors, but his winning percentage is just crazy, insane. He went a stretch where he went 8, 9, 5, 5, 5 wins.
Yeah, imagine winning 8 professional.
That's 27. That's 27 wins, or 15. Wait, sorry. 15, 24. That's 32 wins in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
be a good few years.
32 wins. That would probably, I don't know what that 32 would put him all time. Probably somewhere in the top 10, I'd imagine.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, I'd say. I can't think of too many people that have 32 wins. But I mean,
and that's in 5 years. But anyway, yeah. I mean, that debate's never going to be settled, I guess. But as long as that Jack has that, I mean, totally off topic, but it triggers me sometimes. Just because he has that major title, a lot of people just say him automatically. But that winning percentage he has is just crazy. He wins more than one every five tournaments.
No, I'm in complete agreement with you, man. I mean, in my opinion, I think Tiger's the most dominant athlete in the respective sport of all time. And I know some people would argue about that with me, but
I mean, I would probably disagree there, but I think it's in terms of golf, he's number 1, and in terms of dominant athletes, top 5 for me somewhere. But I'd have to think about that a little bit longer.
Yeah, maybe a discussion topic for another day. Yeah, but we should talk about these piñata picks a little bit. We haven't mentioned them from last week.
Sure, definitely, yes. So as if anyone hasn't been listening, the last 2 weeks we did our Pinata picks, which are random picks, head-to-heads, winners. Whatever player finishes best is the winner, and whoever had that player gets a point, basically. So I'm up 2-0 going into this week, where there was 2 tournaments, and I guess even before we touch on this, we can touch on the winner of the Puerto Rico Open, because it happened. We don't have to spend. But Brendan Grace, which I would have almost assumed he was in the field the Workday, because he's a good player.
He is a good player.
When I saw him, I was like, if someone would have asked me, is he in the field? I'd be like, oh, probably. But
he was one of the guys that when we were doing the Pinata picks last week, I would say I had like noted 5 guys. I was like, I was hoping for him. But that being said,
and then he got it done. He got a second win. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he wanted to be in the other field, so it's probably nice, to get that win for him.
Did you see him on those last 2 holes when he chipped in for eagle? Well,
I actually was, yeah. So I flipped over once the Workday finished, and he kind of did what Koepka did on 17 of the Waste Management. Basically, made it so it was going to be really tough for anyone to actually catch him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he did birdie 18, which is a par 5 to win by 1. So he still had to bring it home, which he did. So good for him. But we tied that Pinata pick.
Yeah.
So we're just there's no point in counting ties.
Riley versus Bird.
Davis Riley, which is a good young player, against the vet, Jonathan Bird. They both shot, I think, 6 under, maybe something
around that. They both
good
made
finishes. I think they both, I don't know, probably finished I don't feel like pulling it up. Probably like somewhere in the 30 or something like that, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And then in the Workday, you had Sungjae Im, great player, young player, and I had JT. I think Im had it. I think Im had it at the. I think JT kind of came back on him.
I was going to mention, if there was a cut this week, I don't think JT would have won. But
yeah, you're probably right. I remember I was looking. Yeah, I was looking. I was like, oh, JT. I don't think he had a very good first day, to be honest.
Yeah, he's like plus. I don't even want to guess a number.
I think he was over par, right?
Yeah, he's plus 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, let me bring it up.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you could be right on that. JT. I don't know. He actually only went 73, but he might have. When I checked, he might have been.
Yeah, he might have been.
He birdied 13 and 14. So, yeah, I remember looking at some point throughout the day and was like, "Oh, geez, he's like quite a bit over," but he brought it back.
Yeah,
obviously. So good.
So another heartbreaker for me. 3-0.
For sure, I was looking at the wrong fucking day there. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, he was plus 4 at one point.
Plus 4, okay. I thought it was plus 4 or 5. I wasn't going crazy. But yeah, so 3-0 for Scooter. I'm going to need a few big weeks to bring this back.
Yeah, 3-0. I'll take it.
I especially thought after Sanjay put that one in the water, and we'll show the clip here after I'm done talking about it in a second. But after he put that one in the water that skipped out and he was skipping stones, I thought for sure I had to win that. I had to win this week, especially after
thought luck was on your side.
Yeah, I thought it had to be, but I was mistaken.
Oh, you'll get her next time.
It's at -3. Deliberate backswing. Whoa. Whoa. What? Well, the backswing was the only thing that was deliberate there, I can assure you.
Come on, David.
Yeah, I think that must have made concrete liner as well as the water, maybe. Well, I mean, that bounced high in the air.
Oh, man.
That's the way to play it.
That's crazy. Wow. I've never seen that before.
The only now, I mean, so as Canadian golfers, who are probably the only people listening to this, the big name wasn't in the PGA Tour; it was in the Champions Tour. So after both World Golf was over, Puerto Rico was over, the last tournament that was on was the Champions Tour, which, if anyone doesn't know, you have to be 50 and older. So it's like the Seniors Tour. They call it the Champions Tour. And this year is the first year for Mike Weir, who obviously he's had a bit of a tough go. Canadian icon. However, his last like 10 years or so, he's had a rough go. I mean,
Dave says it all.
I mean, unfortunately, right? I mean, it sucks, but he's a smaller guy, right? I mean, doesn't hit the ball long.
No.
I mean, what can you do, right? So he's obviously waiting for his chance to, just get on the Champions Tour, and he's been playing really well. But he was just dominating the field this whole week. He went 66, 67. He had a 2 or 3 shot lead going into the last, and even had a two shot lead going into the last 3 holes. And just he made a bogey. The other guy, Sutherland, made 2 birdies, and I think that was it. Or he made 2 bogeys. I think he made 2. Yeah, he made 2 bogeys on the last 2 holes. The other guy made 2 birdies, I think, or a birdie and a par, whatever it was, and lost by 2. So he finished solo. Second, which is his second solo second. So he's playing great, which is good, obviously. Get the comps up,
He's just playing like Finau.
Yeah.
He's the Finau of the Champions Tour.
And he's got a tie 4, another tie 10, T7. So, I mean, he's playing unreal. Ranked 15th in their point system. Already almost made over $700,000.
Not a bad year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, great for him. But it would have been nice. I mean, like, when's the last time anyone? I shouldn't say anyone. Well, like, when's the last time you tune into the Champions Tour, right? But obviously, I'm not tuning in unless he has a chance. I mean, and he has a chance. He was up two with 3 holes to go. He was up 2, and he lost by 2.
That's pretty devastating.
Yeah, that's tough.
So you're going to take him for the Masters then, because he's going back.
You know what? It will be nice to see how he plays after getting maybe a little bit of confidence. You never know, man. Like, crazy things can happen. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. Insanity if he could like win that, or even just be like knocking on the door or something.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Imagine him and Corey Connors or someone in a playoff for the Masters. That'd be pretty neat.
And Graham DeLette's for some reason.
Yeah, Graham DeLette's watching.
No, I don't even know if he's like
commentating from the booth.
Plays golf anymore. He was supposed to be the next guy. The last thing I wanted to bring up kind of before we break here, I mean, that probably wraps up last week's golf. There was a lot going on.
Actually, we forgot to talk about Hovland, but we'll save that for
I guess
another day. I mean, he got an 8 on a hole. He lost by 3 to Morikawa. So just worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, he brought it back. He's kind of that guy. I've seen him actually like shank a couple before. I think he has like that in his bag. Like he has these like blow ups in his bag, and like these bad shots. But then he's kind of like a birdie guy, right? He knows how to, which is good. I mean, that'll fare well for him.
I can tell you for free right now, if that was me or you, we wouldn't be laughing after we wrote the 8 on the scorecard.
No,
yard sale and clubs last week.
True.
I would have been water with the Gators.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point to bring up. Like, you do kind of got to keep your cool, right? I mean, like, you got a lot of money on the line. You don't want to just like throw the tournament away just because, like, yeah, but I guess like too, like if we're playing just a round and it's like hole like 15 and we get an 8, like it pretty much messes the whole round up, right? Or we get on like 15, we get an 8. Like him at least he knows he has like rounds to get it back, right? like you have shots versus like, let's say we have like a good score going or something like that. We want to post a good score. You get an 8 on a par 4 or whatever.
Like
You're just like, well,
on Sunday all day.
yeah, you're just like, okay, well, whatever. I'm done. But that probably wraps up that. One thing I wanted to mention, before we get into next week and what we're gonna do there, but I was listening to Overdrive on TSN, just a talk show. So it's like a hockey talk show, but they talk all sports really.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian Hayes, they had Bob Weeks on, and he just floated the idea, and I never even thought about this. Of since there aren't fans this year for the Canadian Open, they were saying like, why wouldn't they take this opportunity, the one opportunity they'd ever have to do this, at least right now in the near future, to go to Cabot and hold the Canadian Open at Cabot Links and Cabot Cliffs. And like I was like, I didn't even think about that before, and I was like, man, that would be a great idea. Now, obviously, there's like a lot of logistical issues, which being where's all these players going to stay?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a bit of a nightmare. They said like they'd have to bring like a cruise ship in, which like could actually work.
It could, yeah. That's a neat idea. Someone's ball wax the cruise ship.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not it's in Inverness. There's nowhere really to stay. There are some restaurants around on the course, and like the club has a couple as well. There's like one other decent one, but obviously accommodations would be crazy. I mean, 150 players, 150 caddies, staff, volunteers would be from the town, I'd imagine, but probably like a 400 person production, I'd imagine, at least. That'd be with no spouses. But like, I was thinking, how cool would that be? I mean, that's like, you don't really get that in Canada, right? Like that, you don't get that scene. And it's not really a course that could hold a bunch of people either. It's not really set up like that. So you wouldn't, on a normal year, you could never really get that anyway. So this would be kind of the only year that if you wanted to do, no fans, you could have it there. But pretty much consensus was,
it's not going to happen.
It would never actually work, but it would be cool. It would be really, really cool. And it got me thinking. I was like, man, that would be sick. Like,
yeah, that would be dope. I mean, they probably already have a venue set up that they've been.
They do, and I guess it's an RBC event, so it makes sense that they keep it in Ontario. So RBC brings all their clients,
right?
Shows them a good time. All that. It's either in like Montreal but usually in Ontario.
If they ever brought it to the Cabot Cliffs, I mean, I'd be the first guy. I'd probably rent a camper, go up there, get the barbecue out.
Oh, that'd be unreal. No, totally.
Full of Magoo and start running hot dogs, hamburgers back and forth.
No, it'd be unreal. But no, I just wanted to bring that up because they brought that up, and I was like, wow, I've never but anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, this wraps up this segment. So we'll see you just after this short break.
Cool.
The Full Circle Realty team specializes in commercial, residential, and property management by taking a distinctive entrepreneurial approach to help clients and customers find their next investment. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate in 2021, contact the team today at info@fullcirclerealty.ca to learn more about buying and selling homes in 2021.
All right. Yeah. So Pinata picks for this coming week. We obviously explain what they are. And I would say you probably have maybe the slight advantage this week. So we already actually picked them. I know we've been doing it kind of live, but so Luke got Jason Day.
Yep.
Who
won in 2019?
Yeah, definitely has like less wins than he probably expected to have at this point in his career.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys.
But again, like a solid player, major winner. So
he won Bay Hill, I think, in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I got Jason Kokrak, who's just like a sneaky good player.
Yep.
I checked his world golf ranking just I knew he was good. I didn't know he's 31. I mean,
Really? He's that old, is he?
no, sorry, he was 30. He's 35, I think, but he's 31 world ranking.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought that, but
35 in the world? No, I definitely wouldn't have thought in a million
31
years.
in the world. Yeah,
Oh, 31 in the
31,
world.
35 years old.
Yeah, 31 in the world. Wouldn't have thought that in a million years.
No, I mean, he's probably better than Jason. I guess both Jasons.
We got the head-to-head of Jason's this week.
Yeah, the head-to-head Jays. Yeah, Jason's 46, so I mean, Kokrak, obviously
He's got the advantage, it seems like, but
yeah.
Jason Day has won here in
Jason
the
Day
past.
definitely has like the career. Kokrak does have a. You know what, Jason Day? He has 12 wins. Wait, am I looking at this right?
12
Jason
wins?
Day,
Don't sound
Jason
too
Day,
bad.
Jason Day had 5 wins one year.
Yeah.
In 20 starts in 2015. And then in 3 the next year. I had no idea he had 8 wins in 2 years in 40 tournaments.
That's not bad stats.
That's not bad. 12. I would have said he has 6 wins.
Yeah, I probably would have been maybe like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But
okay. But so he has the career advantage, but the recent advantage goes to Kokrak. So should be a good week.
should be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of jumping into it, this is another huge tournament, famous tournament. It's Arnold Palmer Invitational. So it's an invitational at Bay Hill or the Orlando area. I've actually been to Par 72. I've actually been to this tournament before. As a kid, me and my dad went. We watched the Thursday or Friday round. That was my first ever pro golf, so it was pretty cool. Tiger ended up winning it that week, but I wasn't there for Sunday.
Damn.
So it was cool. It was kind of the first time I ever saw pro golf like that. But again, should be another big week. Now it kind of dives in now to some, that first World Golf, obviously the Genesis, but
players the week
after. Then it's not that long before the Masters, so it's kind of jumping in now. It's kind of getting the swing of things. Hopefully, as time goes on, fans might be allowed back. Who knows? I hope so. But
I'll start rattling some stuff off about this course real quick, just to give some background and context behind everything. Par 72, like I said, just under 7,500 yards, so it's one of the longer courses on tour. The green type is Bermuda, the grass type, I should say. The rough is medium length, I would say, maybe do a little shorter. The greens are, in comparison to last week at the WGC event, the greens are going to be a lot easier. The fairways are going to be a lot easier. Everything's more flat, not as undulated. Magoo's favorite word.
It has this 18, number 18 is like famous hole.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most famous holes in golf.
Definitely.
It's a sick. It's guarded by water. I think it's kind of long. It's kind of it's the last time Tiger had a big walk off moment.
Right.
It was one of his, when he was kind of came back. It was one of the first times he came back for the first time. I mean, he has a few comebacks now, but this was probably 5 years ago or something like that. And it was one of his last, big, just holing out to win moments, which is pretty cool. And it's just an unreal hole to get it on.
Yep. I'll also mention the fairways. I think it's 64% of the fairways are hit here at Bay Hill, which makes it pretty easy for the tour players to hit the fairways. I mean, that's pretty good average. is pretty low though, which means the fairway or the greens are pretty tough to hit. The greens are easy. One of the top 5 easiest on tour last year.
Interesting.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I think the approach to the green is going to be pretty important. I think you can see maybe some guys overpower this golf course since it is quite a long course. I think the longer.
What was the winning score last year? Do you know?
I can pull it up here. I had it opened not too long ago.
I think Tiger won this in 2013. I think. I want to say. Let me see. Yeah. So this would have been in 2013, I think, is when he got that big walk-off win, I believe.
So Tyrell Hatton won here last year.
Yeah.
And it looks like the winning score was 4 under.
Wow.
He shot +2 on the final day and won.
So do you take it back when you say they're going to tear this course up?
Well, I mean, I was more so talking about the greens. I think we'll see a good putting clinic, but like I said, I think the fairways are going to be fairly easy to hit. I mean, 64% is a pretty high percentage for hitting fairway, and that's the tour average there. Like I said, it was just the approach shots that people were struggling with the last few years at Bay Hill. The greens are very flat, so I don't think it'll be a big challenge of we're going to see 3-4 putts, etc. I think it's going to be more so those approach shots. If you can get those tight, you're going to have a good chance at birdie.
Chance of winning.
That's what we're going to see. And I mean, obviously last year it didn't look too easy with a -4 winner with a score of 74 on the final day to win.
Yeah, geez. That's crazy. That's yeah.
I mean,
you kind of like to see that once in a while. You do. I think you kind of like to see like these hard tournaments every once in a while. Like guys, you know, you don't want to see it every time, I think. But.
No, I love to see it every once in a while. I mean, it's just a good flair to the game, I suppose. I mean, if you're seeing guys shooting 20 under week after week after week, it just gets a little repetitive. But I mean, that's why I love like the British Open and tournaments like that where it's just the winners, like the U.S. Open, even where the winner could be over par, slightly under. I mean, it just makes it a little bit more interesting to watch, in my opinion.
I do. No, I do too. I'm in agreement.
One thing I wanted to mention though was I read about this earlier. That was pretty funny, but the 6th hole is a par 5, and I think it's fairly short. And someone tried to drive the green a few years back. I can't remember how many years, but it was John Daly.
And, I think I know. It's literally like a backwards C, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So you like with water kind of in the C, like area. So it depends how much you want to cut off. So it's a risk reward type of thing.
So John Daly famously went for the par 5 green and with his drive and ended up scoring an 18 on the hole. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I was thinking maybe DeChambeau might give it a try this year.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's just a classic. You're just gonna go for it until like you run out of balls or B it works.
18. I don't think I've ever recorded an 18 on a hole, to be
18,
honest.
No. I pick up before I just get. I mean,
I pick up before 10, I think.
Yeah, I probably haven't carded a 10 in a while because I'll just pick the ball up and like.
Actually, funny though, there was a guy that I played in a tournament at Northumberland. This was probably like 5-10 years ago, and I played in a tournament at Northumberland. And this guy played in the queue, I believe. And I know one of my buddies, Jason Shellman, will know who I'm talking about. But this guy kept on going for it over the water on a par 5 at Northumberland. I can't even remember the hole number or anything like that. And this guy, I'm not joking, scored the exact score of 18. And I had to write this down on his scorecard.
Well, yeah, in a tourney, right?
In the tourney. It was just, we'll say his mood was definitely different the rest of the day.
But yeah, but to be fair, like if you just like shoot an 18, like you could have avoided that unless you're like terrible. You know what
No,
I mean?
he was a good golfer. That was the worst part about it. Like, I think he might have went
Yes.
like 2 or 3 over the rest of the day. Just carded an 18 on this hole. He just
Yeah.
he refused to lay up. It was
Yeah.
just,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's definitely avoidable, and like, so. But I mean, I've been there before. Like, yeah. I mean, I've been stubborn before. Like, I'm just like not going to until like I just get fed up or like don't have any balls left. But it's usually not a tournament now. I've played too many tournaments, but
yeah.
I think probably this week. I don't know if we're going to do this every week, but we're going to do a FanDuel head to head between the two of us, which it's basically picks. You have a cap, a salary cap. You pick 6 guys. Each guy has a money value associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
You pick 6 of them. You got to be at least you have to be under or at the salary cap. And scoring, there's a bunch of scoring rules like eagle or better is a 7, birdie's a 3.1, par's a 0.5. Then the only negatives are bogeys or worse. Like there's a streak, so 2 holes in a row. Under par is 0.6. So there's a bunch of scoring it tallies it for us.
Yep, exactly. So we don't got to do any of the work, any of the math, or anything like that. But one of us
basically
will be money.
Yeah, so we'll kind of recap it next show. But I guess the fun is going to be picking who. And I know we've been thinking about our picks and all that. So maybe we just go like 1 for 1 or something like that.
Sure, let's do it.
And then we'll go 1 for 1 and maybe say why you picked them, and then that'll probably end her off, or
definitely
a little bit long.
Definitely, I'll start us off. My first pick, and it's not in order of
I'm just gonna go
value, but the first guy I put on there right away was Jason Day, since I got him for the Pinata picks, and I know he won in 2019. I think he's gonna have a good week this week.
Not a bad pick. This is my funniest pick. I'm just going to put up my funniest pick of the week is Matt Every. Now, you might say, a lot of people might say, who is Matt Every? For probably good reason. He's 0 for 11 on cuts this year. So he came in, so he's cheap. However, he has 2 wins in his career.
Yep.
Both at this tournament.
Oh, really?
Both back-to-back at 14-15.
And then he's just been gone since.
He's a pretty average player. He's probably a below average player, but he just won back to back.
So like you have to throw him
Bay Hill, and he's cheap. And he's 0 for 11 on cuts, so he's due.
He is due.
So
I won't argue that.
So I just picked him. Dark horse it, right?
Yeah, well, he's fighting for his life on the tour, it sounds like. So
he hopefully kept some of those winnings. You know what I mean? Like. From a few years ago, because he ain't getting paid this year. I'll tell you that. All right,
I'll get into my second pick. My second pick's Hideki Matsuyama, and that's strictly for the reason, like I said. I mean, it's easy fairways to hit. I know Hideki's putting's pretty brutal. He's picked it up a little bit lately, but these greens aren't going to be too tricky. And it's all ball striking this week, in my opinion. So I'm hoping to see Hideki hit some close shots to these flags for a couple gimme birdies.
All right, let's do it. Just one more piece on Matt Every. He has more cuts missed than cuts made.
Perfect.
And he has 14 withdrawals. So with those 14 withdrawals, he has way more cuts missed. Just as a note. But he's won $10 million over the last 15 years, so he's not
10 mil. Wow, that's
with 2 wins.
Yeah,
but
that's a good life for them.
The guy's doing all right. My next is Victor Hovland.
Okay.
A, he's on a heater. B, he's made 9 out of 9 cuts. And he wasn't the most expensive player. So, obviously consistent. He's consistently doing well.
Should have won last week.
Yeah, not just making cuts. He's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. not a crazy pick, but I guess after my first one, I had to.
Yep. No, I think that's a good pick. I agree with that. I mean, like you said, I mean, he's been hot lately, but I think he is due. I looked at him pretty hard for a little while, and I think he's due for an off week, and maybe I'm just completely wrong, and I'll eat my words here and next Monday. But I think he's due for an off week, like you said, 9 out of 9 cuts.
Yeah, we'll see.
For that price, I think it's good value, honestly. Like you said, he wasn't the number 1 ranked player. For my third pick, I'm going to take Cameron Champ.
Okay.
And that's simply due to his value. To start off, he's 8,300. And then after that, like I said, it's a long course. It's one of the longer courses on tour. I think he's going to be able
to. I think he's 2 or 3,
there.
right, in driving distance?
Yep, exactly. I mean, he's going to be able to bang it out there. Like I said, the fairways are pretty easy to hit from the numbers side of things, with the 64% of fairways being hit. So I'm going to take Cameron Champ and take my chances on him.
Love it. My next is Brendan Grace.
Right on. I like
came off the big, really good value. Like definitely towards the bottom. 7 out of 12 cuts, but coming off a win on a cross field event, which he probably wants to get back in like the big boy club, right? So
yep,
we'll have him. Hopefully, having a good week.
Definitely. All right. Well, my fourth pick is going to be a winner, I believe, 2 weeks ago, Max Homa. And I think he's just in good form, like you were saying, with Hovland. And I think he can come out here and shoot some decent scores. I think I don't see him, running away with anything, but I can see him, since he's in good form right now, being a top 10 candidate.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. My next is Rory, most expensive guy on the list, but I'm just waiting for him to kind of break out. He's had some good finishes.
I doubled down on Rory too, so we might as well both talk about him. But I mean, Rory's a guy who can bang the ball. He can pretty much do it all. So I mean, you're never having a bad pick with Rory, to be honest.
So he did finish well last week.
Exactly. He's looking like he's picking it up a bit. The last couple of rounds, I think he played really well. Maybe it was the third round that he had shot like a 64. Or maybe it was.
Yeah.
I think it was the third round.
Yep. So I guess you went back and said Rory. So
yep.
I went Spieth.
Okay.
Probably maybe a little bit expensive for what he's up there for sure. But he's his last. I think he played half decent last week too.
Yep. Someone I looked at as well. I looked at Spiether, but I think I'm going to wait till the Masters till I bet on that fella.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
And my final pick, HV3. I mean, what can I say about him? He's wearing those Air Force Ones on the golf course. He's out there in style. The only guy on tour.
You're going with
by Jordan.
I like it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to be out there in style. If nothing else, if he shoots 100 the first 2 days,
he's a cool guy.
Stylish doing it, right?
It's like a dark horse guy, right? But like I got one. Like I got a terrible player.
Yeah. No, exactly. My two. Well, I'll go through it. My two highest.
I got Max Homa as well. I could have said that when you to round my note. Max Homa, steady this year. Cool cat. So
cool cat. So yeah, my two most expensive guys are McIlroy and Matsuyama, and the two cheap guys I got were Champ and Varner.
I guess I kind of got two: McIlroy and Hovland, expensive. Matt Every and Brandon Grace.
Yep, and this will all be shown on the screen too, so the viewers can all check it out.
Yeah, so we'll. I don't know what we'll play for, but it's more just of a kind of little discussion. We'll see if I don't know if we'll do it every week, but if we have guests, who knows? But
yep, exactly. We'll
play
it by ear.
It's kind of a fun way to do it. lot of different scoring. So it's not just obviously birdies and eagles are the easiest, but avoiding bogeys are good too. So
I mean, I think from the scoring system, you would rather have a guy, let's just say two guys are tied for 5th place. I think you would rather a guy that, has like 10 eagles and 10 birdies and then also has 10 double bogeys and 10 bogeys.
I mean, birdies. Well, yeah. So, I guess put it this way: if you have a birdie and a bogey for even par, you're plus 2.1.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But if you have 2 pars, you get half twice. 2 halves, so you get 1, so you're up 1.1,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the same score. Now bounce back, hole under par. Okay, after hole over par. So I guess maybe if you go birdie or bogey, you get another 0.3 for a bounce back, I think.
Yeah, there's some.
You also go bogey, but to be fair, if you go bogey free round, so you get all pars, you get plus 5, plus you're plus 9 for. So it depends how you get it, right? I guess if you just go 18 pars, then you might actually be all right, but. Especially at a tougher course like this, you never know. Like pars might be really good.
Yep. I mean, it'll be interesting in a FanDuel sense as well, just because of the scoring will be so low compared to what it normally is. So it should be.
Yeah, exactly. Usually it's just you just rip a bunch of birdies, and you only get a couple bogeys, and you finish minus 20 or something like that. Obviously, pretty exactly. Just getting birdies are it. But if there's going to be bogeys out there, then it's definitely going to play interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do we have anything else to touch on?
I think I'm good, man.
All right.
Well, thanks for another good round or another good tournament.
Another good tourney, hopefully. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next week on the Life Below Par podcast.
All right. Peace.
Let's just go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see it shine.